And again, I'm not trying to get too deep, I'm just trying to tell the truth. So when I grew up learning to play music through the medium of guitar, I learned in a very unorthodox way, which is not really the way most people learn. It's just I hear a thing in my head, I hear like this soundtrack, and I try to emulate that. And you know, I hear that in other players like Alan Holdsworth, who doesn't know music theory, but he hears, you know, the soundtrack in his head, and he chases that dragon, and that's what I've been doing all my life. So if I sit down with, you know, any of these other musicians who understand music theory, I have a very difficult time, and I've always had a problem with that. And I've tried to learn the language of music, which is, you know, what most of us understand as the you know, the way that we interpret music. But I've never been able to. Went to GIT, I've had private tutors and teachers and learned from books and videos and so forth, and I've never been able to quite grasp it. And it's, so I've been very frustrated with that. So I've learned to accept the fact that I'm kind of this different animal and kind of learn my own way. So it's very hard for me in a clinic situation to explain to you what I do. Not that it's anything profound, but either way. Basically, in the most simple terms, I'm sure there's plenty of guitar players out here, I play shapes. You know, geometric shapes, basically. So, you know, and I don't even know what to call them, but for instance, if I'm in A, you know, I'll take this shape, which is a major third, you know, the root note, major third, and seventh. And I'll just expand on that, you know. And when I was a kid, I just take these real basic things and I expand on them, and I'd always move them up an octave, and I move them up another octave, sorry. And then I go, okay, I'll connect the dots, and I'll play that same shape in between those two shapes, right? I don't know what that's called. And guys that know music go, fuck, you're a genius. I'm like, fuck, what are you talking about, dude? You're just connecting the dots. That's basically my whole life right there. That's it. It's really fucking not that hard, okay? I mean, there's other things involved, like fucking maintaining relationships with bands and the music business, quote unquote. That's the hard shit. I'm not here to fucking tell you about that, but as far as music theory itself, that's my music theory, in a nutshell. Now, of course, you know, it gets more involved than that, obviously. You know, as I began to learn, I began to take, for instance, that scale, basic fucking whatever, normal thing, the first thing you learn, right? But then I just go. Okay, so what I just did there, I flatted the fifth, and I added the major third. It sounds exotic. People go, you're a fucking genius. I'm going, no. I just fucking added a couple of notes. And that's all I did. And I get paid. It's crazy. I get a free boat cruise. My wife and I, my fans or friends who I've met today are buying me drinks. It's awesome. It's beautiful, dude. It's incredible. That's all you got to do. So, you know, do what I do, and you won't have to work for a living. It's crazy. I'm just kidding. But there's a whole other thing, aspect of this of just composition, and then really, to be serious, composition is very important, and it's my passion. Really, being a great guitar player or whatever that's called, that's not even on my radar. I want to emulate my heroes: Jimmy Page, Hendrix, Clapton, etc., on and on and on. And you know, at that, in the late '60s and early '70s, there wasn't a line of demarcation between being a guitar player and being a composer. It was all the same thing. So all we did as kids, when I was growing up in my garage bands, was we improvised, and that was our songs. And that's a lost art, and that's the basis of everything I've ever written, Dawkins, Lynch Mob, everything I'm involved in today. It's all based on improvisation, okay? It's basically getting together with your friends in a room and coming up with whatever the universe gives you, and you're a conduit. And that's it. So, you know, I'm just a messenger, and it's a wonderful thing, and it's the thing that Basically, the way I try to explain to people is the art of it is getting out of your own way. Does that make sense?
Yeah!
Yeah, getting out of your own way. Just letting it happen. Just being open and being receptive to whatever the universe is giving you. And that's what I do. And when I've learned to do that over the last couple of decades, I've lost writer's block, which has allowed me to basically have this tremendous output. I've done an average of 3 albums a year. Where back in the 80s, when I was all constipated musically, I would be like, oh, I'd be lucky if I could, do an album a year. So it's just been really liberating and enlightening. So really, getting out of your own way is the thing. You're not that important.
Yes.
Let the universe do what it wants to do. And okay, I'm getting really heavy on you guys. Hey, have you guys ever heard of these drinks? They're called, what are they called? Righteous Fish. Dude, seriously?
Righteous Fish!
Are you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, we have, George.
It's changed my life, motherfucker. Look at that right there. You gotta drink these. It'll make you play really good. Seriously, dude. Righteous Fish. Just tell them George sent me.